Hello everyone, welcome to another Warhammer Fantasy review. This review for the Orcs and Goblins army, the Night Goblin Squig herders. As you can see, this is a kind of a different review due to the fact that these ones come in blisters. There's not much to see. This is pretty much a normal blister. What comes in the blister? 3 Squigs, 2 Goblins. That's called a team. This unit is made out of teams, it's a kind of a composite unit. Each team includes, like I previously mentioned, 3 Squigs, 2 Goblins. So how to build this unit? You only add more teams and more teams. This unit sadly doesn't come with no sort of command, despite its fact that some units look like they could be command. Like this Goblin with pipes, or this Goblin holding this spear with a poor snotling tied to it. Now, the Night Goblin Squig herders are a special choice in the Orcs and Goblins army, and they're pretty cheap for the kind of power they have. You just keep adding teams and they get stronger and stronger and stronger. Here the interesting thing is the Squigs are the ones that fight, as kind of obvious. They're pretty tough. For such a tiny unit and kind of cute if you like them, they have pretty good weapon skill and tremendous strength. The Night Goblins, on the other hand, as you know, they're, well, crap. But they don't fight, so we don't really care. What they're equipped with? Well, the Squigs are equipped with their talons and their teeth. That's all they need. The Night Goblins are equipped with hand weapons. That's it. It's kind of sad that you can equip them with light shields. The unit will be a ton better if it actually had that. One other thing I hope they had was that the Squigs had at least scaly skin, a 6+ at least. But well, they don't have no armor save of any kind. That's why this unit is kind of fragile, but I gotta go more in depth later on. Now, the abilities of the unit. The most powerful ability they have is their immune to psychology. That's right, immune to psychology. That makes them excellent hunters of terror and fear causing units that pretty much dominate the tables nowadays in Warhammer Fantasy. So you pretty much throw them against those dragons, those giants, those trolls. They won't even flinch. Vampires accounts bothering you, throw them against them. That's right. Now, a review of the miniatures themselves. As you can see, there's 6 different kinds of Squigs, 4 kinds of Goblins. The most common one of the Squigs are these ones, the ones with the smiley face and the tongue. I pretty much have 4 of them. Then we have these ones with a kind of tail that I really like. Then we have the tiny bubbly ones. We have Mr. Smile that's kind of jumping. These ones are like the common. And then we have the kind of rare ones, at least in my case, that's this one. And Mr. Spiky one, that's this one. This one is super cool. As you can see, despite the fact that they're metallic, the bases are very poor. They keep falling and falling again and again and again. Now, the Night Goblins, we have the ones with the trident. With the symbols. The one with the spear and the poor snotling. And the one with the pipe. Now, how to use this unit? As mentioned before, due to the fact that they are immune to psychology, use them to hunt fear and terror causing units. This unit also hates dwarves, so it's pretty good to use them against them dwarves. They're stunties. Also, another kind of ability, but it's not ability, it's kind of a double-edged sword, is the fact that if the goblins die, the unit runs wild. This is a kind of, like I mentioned, double-edged sword. If you're against an enemy, completely surrounded, the goblins are probably the ones that are gonna go out first due to the fact they're weaker, and the odds pretty much pin them against them. But if they're killed, like I mentioned before, surrounded by enemies, the Squigs will go wild and hurt everyone, including your units. Pretty much hurt them. That's why you hope this unit doesn't get killed like in the deployment zone, because it will hurt all your units around them. So kind of keep them kind of away from stuff that like it's important or very expensive. You know your enemy has tremendous shooting power. Now another kind of useful thing to use them as the mob. Since they have unlimited amount of teams, just pile in more and more and more of them and just throw them against everything. Like I mentioned, vampire counts can be eaten alive by these units due to the fact they're immune to psychology and all their nifty tricks won't work. They're also one of the best units in the Goblin themed army due to the fact they're immune to psychology, and well, you're not depending on the actual goblins themselves. Now, one kind of a complaint, like I mentioned before, is the fact that the unit is insanely fragile. They don't have an armor save of any kind. Due to the fact that they don't have an armor save of any kind, they will die very quickly. That's why you throw at something, it will try to chew it. It could kill it, but if it fails, it would probably almost guaranteed be dead by next turn. The goblins go, the unit breaks, and all goes to hell. Thankfully they're cheap, that's what I told you. Well, due to the fact they're cheap, just keep putting more teams, that way that the unit is stronger and some dead squigs and night goblins won't be any problem. Well, that's it, people. This unit is essential in the Orcs and Goblins army, so better keep them handy. Sadly, it's kind of expensive due to the fact you have to buy a lot of blisters, and the fact that they're metallic doesn't help a lot. It will be a pretty expensive unit if you build a lot of them. Thankfully, they're pretty easy to paint. As you can see, I used a lot of washes to really add depth to the kind of leathery skin. Also, the goblins being night, unless you paint them completely awkwardly, again, pretty easy to paint. No need to assemble, come assembled out of the box. They don't have a lot of mold lines or flash. Pretty easy to clean and to paint. Well, that, people, remember to take them. It's a pretty good unit, especially nowadays with all those fairy and terror causing units. Well, that's it. If you like this review, please comment, rate and subscribe.